Hi Gemini, welcome to your Astro Reels reading. It's my pleasure to read for you. You guys know what's up. You also know that these readings are ultimately timeless and signless, so you don't have to actually be a Gemini or have any significant natal placements in the sign of Gemini for this reading to be for you. And you don't have to be watching this video at the time that it's being published. If it chances upon you, then hey, maybe it's for you. If it doesn't resonate, I would invite you to take a step back and to wait a few days and then come back and see if you can make a relationship with the connection, what I'm saying, make a connection with the, that's interesting that came out. Who was that for? I don't know, but make a connection with the information that has been presented. If you'd like to work more personally with me, you know exactly where to find me. All of my info is here. That being said, Gemini, I kind of rushed through that spiel because I try to just jump into the message, but I do have to mark it a little bit for myself. But sometimes I get annoyed with having to do that at the beginning because as soon as I turn on this camera, the information starts coming. And the first thing that I was hearing or feeling for you guys is it's all business. So something right now, you're all about business right now. Whatever that business is, it doesn't even have to be something about anything entrepreneurial or anything that's really about cash. I'm hearing cash flow, although it could be, right? It could be about relationship stuff. It could be about getting something done. But whatever this is, it's just like you're so focused on this business. But what I would like to point out for you is that, first of all, you're doing a great job. And secondly, there's a little bit of an oversight here. It almost feels like, let's imagine, you know, those big staplers where you like, that's the sound. That's how it sounds. Well, let me hold it this way. It's like a big stapler and you're like, and then, because it's like you're stapling something big, like a piece of upholstery or something. Imagine if you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you go a little bit too far and you miss that spot and you just keep going and you don't realize that, oh, you were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you missed this whole part and it's still open. So there's something here, 2 minutes, 22 seconds, that you have missed. For somebody here, this has to do with a misplaced document, or so we're dealing with a mistake that you have made. But I really get that it was totally like maybe you were doing something repetitive and so you actually missed a step, and it was just so easy to miss, I guess, because you were just, you know, it happens sometimes. I mean, I don't get that you were unprepared or that you were negligent, or that you were just unawares. I just don't get any of that. So there's no reflection on you, because you know I'd let you know real quick, right? There's no reflection on you. There's just something that you've missed in time, something here. So something that I almost said the dad. So maybe that's for somebody. Somebody's guides or somebody wants to come through very, very quickly. Okay, let me see if they're going to say it. I don't know. Okay. If you feel that there's a message for you. Okay, well, okay. I'm just going to, okay. Listen, look at me trying to negotiate with the guides. Sorry. I'm just going to give the message and I'm going to move on, but I don't want everyone to be like, it's me. Just because your father may not be feeling well does not mean it's you, okay? Please use your discernment, but I want to honor the information coming through. So there's saying verbatim, somebody's dad is going to perish and you need to get through to them quickly, or as quickly as possible, or they're like, as I'm saying this, my body's feeling a little hot all of a sudden. So this is for someone, and again, this is so specific. It's one person, and I want you to know that even though you're watching it right now and you're probably like, oh, it must be me because my dad's going through stuff and he's blah blah blah, it may not be you. The person who probably needs to hear this may not even be watching this video until months later or a year later, but it's going to be timely for them. So please do not jump to conclusions. Just, you know, I want to honor what comes through. Anyway, so yes, anything else, guys? I want to be with the guides, but I really, yeah, anyway, I'm moving on. God bless. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, okay, they're persistent. So I'm just gonna say, I'm just being shown a stormtrooper. So I don't know who this is for, if it's the same message, but maybe I'm just gonna give it. They're showing a stormtrooper, and they're saying there's some sore spots in the chest region, and so I'm seeing like on each, like on the left side and the right side of the center of the body, and I don't center, excuse me, of the the sternum, and I don't want to liken this to an EKG, but I do know when we put EKGs on, we put one, well, depending on what leads you're using, anyway, you put one on the left side and one on the right side, so there's something there, could be heart related, but I don't know. And again, do not jump to conclusions. It's just somebody's guides are really pushing for this, so there may be a reason, and I want to honor that with that. Okay. Look at them. Surrender now, be loyal to what you love. Because I'm like, I don't want to give this message. And they're like, just give the message. 5 minutes, 55 seconds. Okay. Oh, and now something's coming up in my throat. So hold on. So maybe those are all clues for somebody very specific. So, and as I looked down, it was like 6:06. All right. Anything else before, anything else? Oh, they're like, nope, you're good. You're good. Okay, thank you. See, the minute I stop and I'm like, okay, I'm listening, they're like, we're good. All right. So anyway, that's, forgive me for all of you who are listening and that has nothing to do with you, which is about 99.9% of you, right? So I thank you for your patience, okay? Anyway. Aw, they're so sweet. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So we're moving on. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, okay. Well, this might be for, anyway, I'm just going to leave that there and hold on. Give me a second. Let me try and tune back in. Even though I'm saying tune back in, once the cameras start rolling, everything, Spirit doesn't mince words. So there are messages here for quite a few people. Okay. All right. So, yes, thank you. I was like, what was I talking about? Business as usual. So there's something, okay, thank you. There's something that the guides are going back to the general message. There's something that the guides are going to be calling to your attention. And for somebody in particular, for generally speaking, this has to do with, it could be having to do with a missed document that's been misplaced for somebody here, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. Thank you, guys. So yeah, we want to thank those guides who came through for somebody. So thank you. And just saying that, so I'm going to move on now. Thank you. Yep, there's the victory card. All right, so what else? So the guides are going back to talking about how you guys have been doing, generally speaking, if this message is for you, you've been doing a really good job of keeping things together. They're saying keeping the faith as well. I see this collaboration. I see good decision making. And this is, I have to keep it 100. I'm getting some Capricorn vibes here. Capricorn in productivity mode, like doing a good job. But we do need to bring you back to something. Now, let me see if I can feel into this message a little bit more. Okay. Okay, now this is interesting because here we've got two situations that I'm not going to pick up. They just said leave it there. But we've got the 10 of Wands where there's this idea of closing something out and, moving your baggage. That's for somebody in particular. But closing out something, ending something big. Contract closed. Okay, so this could again be related to that scenario that they were talking about specifically earlier, but also generally speaking, there's something that's being closed out. But on the other hand, they're showing me this situation. There's a little bit, and maybe that's why they're bringing through this general Gemini reading about needing to go back and find something that you've missed, because you may be having to make some type of decision to close some cycle out. So maybe if you've been working on something for a while so diligently, it looks so good, and now you're nearing the end and it's time to nip it in the bud. really close that out and move into something new, they're saying that you're going to have to make some decisions that require you to have access to whatever it is that you missed. And it's very easy for us to understand what that has to do when we're talking about a misplaced document. So maybe you finally get to the bank and you're like, I got everything and it's time to do this, give me my money. And they're like, well, we need this document from this year. And you're like, what? I don't even know where that is. And so that's a very easy example, but again, that's just one example, and it could play out in relationships, in mortgages, in anything. All right. So yeah, so just to quickly summarize, because I'm feeling the energies of quite a few things now, I just want to summarize. We are looking at a general reading for you guys needing to be mindful and take a step back and take a look at a process you've been doing and look for a missed, I want to say mistake, but like a glossing over, what is it? Look for something you've overlooked. Look it over for something you've overlooked, right? So something that you may have missed altogether. And then we had a very, very specific 11 minutes, 11 seconds message for someone regarding a father or father figure. All right. So just to, okay. Now, let's continue. Yeah, whatever this project is, whatever this thing is that you've been working on, again, that you've been doing so well at, I do, again, see that you've been doing well. And I see that it is going to lead to some type of wish fulfillment here, which I love. But I think that some of you may be starting to kind of get an idea like, oh, something feels off about what it is that I'm doing. And I do see this stagnation card here, but I don't feel that you will have been stagnant for long. So this isn't, I'm not talking 8 years stagnation or 5 years or 6 months. This seems like maybe 3 weeks or something. It's like things were going well and now like I'm stuck and I don't, for some reason I'm standing in my room and I don't really know which way to turn right now. What am I supposed to be doing again? And that's because you're starting to realize something is amiss. There's the word again. Something is amiss. And the guides have been trying to reach out to you. And so, yeah, that's that. So it's like before you go, they keep saying that before you go, make sure that you double check something. And it's interesting. So if you are, and I like this, so it's like before you leave, make sure you check all the drawers that so I don't know if somebody's moving here, or before you leave something, make sure you put your signature on everything or something to that effect. But I like what I'm seeing here because what if you're like, oh no, I have to go back now and see what I've done. You may be like, but it's been a long time I've been working on this. I'm getting that the guides are going to help you. They're going to be like, okay, well, maybe just using this example, sit down and open that drawer and look through all the files. And they're going to be like, stop. And you're like, huh? Oh, what's this? And you'll find it. It's not like you have to pour through all of your desks and desk drawers and, under your bed and in the attic. And they're going to put you on the scent. It's just like, we need you to kind of do this, right? Because it's something that's going to have this could also be something that's going to have a big profit for you or some type of big payout. Maybe this thing that they're trying to get you to look at, or for somebody here, it could be like, oh, don't forget to get that certification. You're like probably thinking, I don't need it for the job I'm getting into, but they're probably like, yeah, but just get it anyway. That's another example of how this could apply. That seemed very specific, and it seemed like that it was diving related for somebody. It doesn't have to be like diving, like dive instructor kind of thing, or it doesn't have to be, but that's an example for somebody who's listening. But then you don't realize that later on down the line, you will be hired by a company that also has, for a job that you expected, but also will have some new part of it that's opening up, and they're looking for a dive instructor who can do, coves. I'm just making that. I don't know. Making that up. And you're like, well, I did go back and get my cove certification, or I don't know. And then they'll be like, well, great. Well, we already have you. Well, and can we use you? And then next thing you get an extra 0 added to your paycheck, right? So this is something that could be it. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to say the word raspberries and strawberries for the guides. They're saying, and blueberries for somebody. I almost want to say green berries, but I'm just going to let that go. And I'm going to go now so this can fit on Instagram. God bless you. If you want to reach out and talk more, you know exactly where to find me. Bye.